Hello students, myself Rohit Vasisht. I am an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Ajay Kumar Gar Engineering College, Ghaziabad. And today I am here to cover an important subject of computer science field, that is design and analysis of algorithm. This subject is very important from the perspective of your AKTU syllabus curriculum as well as from the placement perspective and from the perspective of competitive exams. So this subject is very important. So this is the syllabus as per the AKTU guidelines. The syllabus comprises of 5 units. First unit discusses the introductory part that will introduce what is algorithm, what are the features of algorithm, what are the various aspects we can analyze about algorithm, what is the difference between algorithm and program, and here we will study various types of algorithm, sorting algorithms, and we will draw a comparison about these sorting algorithm, that which sorting algorithm is giving best output in which case. Second unit comprises of advanced data structure. Here we will have a look on red black trees, B trees, binomial heap, Fibonacci heap. We will see how these what is the need of these data structure and what are the various operations we can perform on these data structure. Next, third and fourth unit comprises of various algorithm designing approach and their problems. So there are number of algorithm designing approach. Third unit covers divide and conquer approach and greedy methods, and fourth unit comprises of dynamic programming approach. And in fifth unit we will study the selected topics and theory of NP completeness. So these are the various textbooks you can refer for this subject. First, that is Thomas H. Corman is very important book for the for referring the algorithms and the theory purpose, and for numerical perspective Harvard Sahani, that is second book, is very useful. So I am starting with the subject. So what is algorithm? And this algorithm word was invented and given by a Persian mathematician Al-Khwarizmi in 9th century, and he described simply that algorithm is simply a set of rules that is used to perform calculation either manually or more usually using a mechanical machine, that means computer. Or we can say an algorithm is a precise description or a step-by-step method to solve a particular problem in finite number of steps to produce a deterministic result. So this is the flow chart for a problem. So we have the initially we have the problem to be solved. So we have the problem. Initially we have the problem and we can design a number of algorithm for that problem. Clear? Now I have designed an algorithm for this problem. Now I can't fed this algorithm to the computer. Why? Because algorithm is written in high level language, that is English language, natural language, and computer being a mechanical machine can't understand this high level language. So we have to convert this algorithm first into a program. So we will convert this algorithm in a program using some programming language, and after converting this algorithm into program, we will feed this program into the computer and we will provide this computer an input, a valid set of input. Now this computer can will generate the two types of output for the two types of category of the input. Now output will be reported as correct output for the valid input case. For valid input case, we will get the correct output, and if the input is invalid, then error will be reported. Then error will be reported in case of invalid input. So this is the whole flow chart for solving a particular problem. So now these are the various features of an algorithm. These are the various features. First feature is finiteness. Finiteness says that an algorithm should terminate after a finite number of steps, or we can say that it does not stuck into an infinite loop. It should produce the desirable output in finite number of steps. Second is absence of ambiguity. Ambiguity means one thing having more than one interpretation. So this second property says that an algorithm should have only one unique interpretation. Then only I can say that my algorithm is unambiguous. For example, I have written an algorithm for detecting a prime number, for identifying that particular input number is prime number or not. And I have presented this particular algorithm in front of the 5 students. And if all 5 students reported that yes sir, this algorithm is for prime number detection, then I will say that yes, my algorithm is unambiguous. And if there is disparity in the answer from the student, if one student say no sir, it is not for a prime number detection, it is for odd and even number detection. Some second students say no, it is not for prime number, it is for generating Fibonacci series. Means all 5 students are having different interpretation from the same algorithm. So I will say that my algorithm is unambiguous and not up to the mark. Third is definition of sequence. Definition of sequence says that an algorithm is a sequence of steps. You can't follow the step randomly in any order. For example, if I am adding 2 numbers, so the first step will be taking 2 number as an input from the user. Second, adding the 2 numbers and store the result into a third variable. And third step will be report the output as the sum of the 2 numbers. So I have to follow these 3 steps in a specified order. I can't take the step number 2 first, that sum the 2 numbers first, and after that I am taking the 2 number as an input from the programmer, from the user. So this is not the right approach to follow an algorithm. So in an algorithm, each step is related and associated with its preceding step and its succeeding step. So I have to follow the algorithm sequence in a definite manner. Fourth is input and output. Now, in a concept of input and output, when I am talking about input, so in case of input, the algorithm can have 0 or more input. An algorithm can have 0 or more input, and in case of output, an algorithm should have at least one output. When I am saying about input and output, means for example, I want to write an algorithm for printing that welcome to designed and analysis of algorithms lecture series. So I need no input from the user side. Clear? When I want to print any message on the desktop, on the output screen, so I want no input from the user. So in that case input will be 0 or more, and more in case of, for example, I am want to find the sum of 2 numbers, so I require 2 inputs from the user. So in case of input, there can be input 0 or more, but there should be at least one output for an algorithm. If an algorithm is not reporting an output, so it is not feasible and effective. Output can be the desired output or the reporting of the error. And the last feature says feasibility. Feasibility says that I have written an algorithm for a particular problem, so whether I am able to implement this algorithm in any particular programming language. If yes, then I will say that particular algorithm is feasible. If I have no resources, no technology for implementing my algorithm, then there is no fruitfulness of that algorithm. So I will say that particular algorithm is not feasible. So these are the various characteristics, various features of the algorithm. Now correctness of an algorithm. Now how can you find the correctness of an algorithm? To find the correctness of an algorithm, you will follow this one line statement. You will give the preconditions. Preconditions are the input, the software on which you are executing your program, and the algorithm. And if you are getting the desired post conditions, then you will say that this algorithm is correct. And this precondition and post condition are predefined. I know that the input number 2 is prime number. So I know the precondition is 2, and I know the post condition also, that the algorithm should report that it should be a prime number. So algorithm correctness can be checked by this one line statement. After feeding preconditions to the algorithm, I should get the desired post condition. Then I will say that my algorithm is correct. Algorithm versus program. When I will talk about algorithm versus program, so first of all is the language independence. An algorithm is language independent. You can write your algo in any of the language. But when you are writing your program, you will follow a particular language syntax. For example, you will follow a C language syntax, you will follow Python language syntax, or you can follow Java language. So program is language dependent and language specific, while algorithm is not. Clear? So it is the main difference between algorithm and program. Second, if you have studied SDLC, software development life cycle, in software engineering course, so there are 5 steps in software development life cycle. First is requirement analysis phase, second is designing phase, third is coding or implementation phase, fourth one is testing phase, and final one is maintenance phase. If you synchronize the algorithm and programming activity with these phases, then you will find that algorithm can be synchronized with the designing phase. In designing phase, you will write your algorithm, and in coding or the implementation phase, you will write the particular program using a particular programming language syntax. So this is the second difference with the perspective of SDLC, that algorithm lies in the designing phase and program lies in the coding or implementation phase. Next is designing of an algorithm. This subject name is divided into 2 parts, designing and analysis. So what this designing says? Designing says that you have to design a particular algorithm in such a way that it minimizes space and time both. Clear? But it is very rare. We can't minimize this space and time simultaneously. Clear? So my goal in designing of an algorithm should be that I should design an effective algorithm that take minimum amount of time for execution and minimum amount of memory space for running a particular input case. So achieving both optimization in both cases, that is time and memory, is very rare. Now what is the difference between algorithm, pseudocode and program? Now algorithm is a systematic way to solve a particular problem, and it is written in natural language, English language or any natural language, while pseudocode can be said an intermediate between algorithm and program. It is an intermediate between algorithm and program, and it doesn't require strict programming language syntax. It doesn't require strict language programming syntax, while program is the exact code that you want to execute on the mechanical machine data computer. So algorithm is written in the natural language, while pseudocode does not follow the strict programming language syntax, or we can say pseudocode is in between algorithm and program, while at the last program is the following the strict programming language syntax. So it is an example of an algorithm that we are searching a particular element X in an array. Clear? So what is the first step? I will compare this element X with each of the element of the array, and if X matches with the element of the array, then I will say that my search is successful. I will return the index, and if the search is unsuccessful, so in that case I am returning -1. Clear? So there are two outputs. First is return index and second is return -1. Return index will be done in case of successful search, and return -1 will be return in case when we are not able to locate the particular element X in the array ARR. This is the example of the pseudocode. This pseudocode is not following the exact programming language syntax, and it is not also written in purely English language, that is natural language. So we can say pseudocode lies in as an intermediate between an algorithm and a program. So this is the pseudocode where we have a list and we have the desired element X, and we will scan the element, search the element from 0 to length of the list, and if we found the element X at particular index, so I will return the index, otherwise I will return -1. This is the exact program which is following the particular language construct. It is written in C language. So this is the exact program that we can fed to the mechanical machine, that is computer. We can't fed algorithm and pseudocode directly to the mechanical machine, but we can fed program directly to the mechanical machine. Now analysis of an algorithm. Analysis of an algorithm will be done with the two perspective, that is time required, how much time a particular algorithm is taking for its execution, and second is the memory space. Clear? Second, we are taking the memory space, what amount of memory space an algorithm needed, and in most of the cases we are not focusing on this memory, we are more focusing on the time required. So that's why the main criteria to analyze a particular algorithm is time. So here we are having a particular example. This example says we have a problem multiplication a number by 2. The problem is saying that we have to multiply a particular number by 2. So algorithm first says that you can directly multiply the number by 2. For example, if I have taken the k value as 6, the k value is 6, and the binary representation of 6 is 0 1 1 0. So it is 6, and this is the binary representation for 2. So I am multiplying 6 by 2. So this is the very first approach for multiplication a number. For this multiplication, I am requiring n cross n grid, means I am requiring n square space, and also requiring multiplication operation as well as addition operation. For when I am following this algorithm 1, I am requiring both a multiplication operation and addition operation, and I am requiring n cross n grid for doing the multiplication. Second approach says you can multiply a number by 2 by just adding the number to itself. If I want to compute 2 multiplied by 6, so I can compute this as also 6 plus 6. So 6 plus 6 can be, again it will report the answer as 12. But here I will require n means 2n space and only addition operation. In algorithm 1, I am requiring n cross n grid and multiplication and addition operation both. But in algorithm 2, I am requiring only 2n space and only addition operation. So I can say that algorithm 2 is offering best solution in terms of time consumption and memory space. Why? Because algorithm 1 is taking n square space and algorithm 2 is taking 2n space. So algorithm 2 is efficient with respect to memory usage. And secondly, first algorithm is using multiplication operation also. That's why algorithm 1 is costly and will take more time as compared to algorithm 2. So this is the program development steps. First of all, you will define your definition. Second, development of a model means you will develop a model that this problem will be solved in such by such a model. For that model, you will specify the algorithm, and then for after specification of algorithm, you will design that algorithm. Clear? After designing the algorithm, for example, you have designed a particular algorithm. Now you will analyze the algorithm in two perspectives, that are time and space. You will analyze the algorithm with two perspectives, time and space, and after that you will implement the algorithm in concept of program, and after that you will do the program testing with both cases. What are the both cases? The both cases are valid inputs and invalid inputs. You will cross check your algo for both inputs, valid and invalid. For example, you have designed a algorithm for detection of prime number. So you will not always give the prime number and you are getting yes, this is a prime number, but you will also give the non-prime number and you will check that for that non-prime number our algorithm is giving correct output or not. So you will check your algorithm for valid and invalid input, both cases. Now I am here to discuss very first algorithm, that is insertion sort. So insertion sort says, as the name suggests, we are inserting the particular item at its proper place in the final list. It is table sort. What is table sort? Table sort says that if we are having multiple duplicacy entry in the array, means one element is occurring 2 times, 3 times, so the relative order of the duplicate element in the output array should be same as in the input array. So this is table sort. If I am getting the relative order of the same element as I am getting in the input array. Next is in place sort. In place sort means it generates the sorted output array by shuffling the elements in the input array itself. It doesn't require any extra array, any additional data structure for its implementation. That's why it is in place. The worst case time complexity is order of n square, where n is the number of elements in the array, and best case complexity is order of n. We will see how these complexity has came, order of n square and order of n, in the later slides. So this is the algorithm for insertion sort. So this is the input array 30, 10, 40, 20. So I am saying that this 30 is at right place, and I am placing the elements from I2 to I4. So initially the value of I will be 2, J value will be 1, and key value will be 10. What is the key value? Key value will be key is equal to A of I. So key value will be 10. Why? Because I is 2, and at 2 we are getting 10. And AJ is 30. Why AJ is 30? Because J is 1. At one place I am having 30. Now I will check this condition. I will check this condition whether J is greater than 0 and AJ is greater than key. Clear? So I am checking J is greater than 1 or not. Means 1 is greater than 0. True. AJ is greater than key. What is the value of AJ? 30. What is the value of key? 10. 30 is greater than 10? Yes, true. And in case of AND gate, AND operator, if both values are true, means the whole result is true, and we will enter into the while loop. What the while loop says? AJ plus 1 will be replaced by AJ. So AJ plus 1 will be replaced by AJ. So I am having AJ 30. So AJ plus 1 will be, before it was 10, now it will become 30. It will become 30. Earlier it was 10, now it will become 30. Now J will be J minus 1, means I will decrement the value of J by 1. So J is 1 now. So after decrementing the value, J will become 0. So J will become 0. So this is the very first iteration for I equal to 2. Now for I equal to, what is this saying? The last after the while loop, AJ plus 1 will be replaced by key. Key value is 10 and J plus 1. J plus 1 means 0 plus 1 means A of 1 will be replaced by key value. What is the key value? The key value is 10. So at one place this will be replaced by 10. This 30 will be replaced by 10. See, this 30 will be replaced by 10. So this is the very first iteration of insertion sort, and in the same manner for I equal to 3, I loop will run for the value 2 to n. 2 to n से हमारा I वैल्यू रन I का लूप चलेगा. So I equal to 2 के लिए पूरा array change हो गया. Now I equal to 3. For I equal to 3, the J value will be I minus 1. That is, J value will be 2. And by looking at the algorithm, you can easily find out these values. Key will be A of I. A of I is A of 3. A of 3 is 40. So I have got key as 40. Again I will check the condition. If I will check the condition, so J is greater than 0, true. AJ value is 40 and key value is, AJ value is 40 and key value is 20. Again it is true. So I will enter into the while loop. So AJ plus value will be replaced by AJ. So AJ plus 1 value will be replaced by AJ. AJ का value 40 है, so it is replaced by 40. Clear? Now J will be J minus 1. J की value 3 से 2 हो गई. J equal to J minus 1. Now at last we will execute AJ plus 1 is equal to key. Now AJ plus 1 is equal to key. What is AJ plus 1? J की value is 1. 1 plus 1, 2. So A of 2 will be replaced by key value, that is 20. So it will be replaced by 20 and this is our final array. Clear? So this is the implementation of array. You can follow this logic and you can easily do the implementation of insertion sort. Now what is the analysis of insertion sort? Analysis of insertion sort depends on this for loop and on this while condition. how many times this while loop will execute. For example, this is the line of code of the insertion sort, and I have associated a cost with each line of code. This is the associative code. Why these code is 0? इनकी cost 0 क्यों है? Because the execution of these will not take any cost. So that's why these costs are 0. And this is the number of times these statements will execute. So the best case of the insertion sort occurs when I am having my array in the sorted form. When I am having my array in sorted form, then in that case the while loop will execute. The while loop will execute only one time. We will not enter into the while body, means the execution frequency of these two statements will be 0 in best case. Why? Because I will not enter into the while loop. That's why the execution frequency of these two will be 0, and this will be executed only one time. Clear? So if you put these value into the formula, you will get the best case as linear time. But what will be the worst case? So the worst case will be when I am having the input array in the reverse order. For example, I want my array into the ascending order, and I am having input in the descending order, opposite. So I am getting the worst case. In worst case, the while loop execute I times. I times, जो I का value रहेगा उतना times हमारा while body execute होगा. So in worst case, we can say the input array is given in the reverse order. For example, here I want my array in the ascending order. So the worst case will be if I am having my input in descending order. So here I will get my complexity as order of n square, and in best case I am having my input array in the same order as I want in the sorted form. I am having the input in the ascending order, and I am also want the output in the ascending order. So this is the best case. Here the while condition will be checked one time, and the while body will never be executed. That's why the best case time complexity of insertion sort is order of n. And insertion sort gives a better output for smaller range of array, for smaller inputs. For if I am having 5 to 6 inputs, if I am having 10 inputs, so this is giving us best result. And if you see in the implementation, I am not using any additional array. I am doing the shuffling in the input array itself. That's why this algorithm is called as in-place sorting algorithm. And you can analyze the stable sorting. If you take the same elements in the input array, so you will get the same order of the elements in the output sorted array. So thanks, this is from my side for this lecture, and in the coming lecture we will discuss next sorting algorithm, that is sorting in linear time. Thank you.